here. First one, Dale Lawley, go ahead.
Ben, you and Marquise sat on the bench there long after everybody else had left the field. Can you share with us what was going through your mind there, and maybe what you guys were talking about?
I love that guy. He is one of the best competitors and teammates I've ever had, and it has been so much fun to share a football field with him. And I hate that it ended the way it did, and I just wanted to apologize to him that I wanted to win it for him.
Jerry Dulac.
Ben, I was just going to ask you, when you get behind like that and it starts the way it does with the bad snap from Marquise, how do you come back from that? What do you say to the guys? What do you try to do?
That half was one of the weirdest halves I've ever been a part of. And you get down early, but you still got a chance, and then you turn the ball over, and we still believed, we're fighting all the way to the end, and that's what I'm most proud of the guys about is that we never gave up.
Brooke Pryor.
Yeah, Ben, going back to you sitting with Pouncey there, I know you guys have said for a long time that you'd play as long as the other one did. When do you two start having those discussions about the future? I know the loss is very fresh, but that's kind of the next thing that you guys are looking at. Is that something that you talk about in those moments?
You just said it best. This loss is fresh, and it's just sitting on our hearts and our minds right now, and it will for a while.
Mark Caboli.
Hey, Ben, when you look back at the whole, maybe not this last game, but do you still enjoy playing football?
I do. I enjoy the guys. I miss the fans this year. Obviously, it's a big part of this game, and we've got the best fans in the world. So I need to apologize to them for tonight and the rest of my teammates for the way I played. Very disappointing, and I hate it for our fans. I hate it for my teammates. But I do. I still enjoy playing this game for those reasons.
Dejan Kovacevic.
Man, when you go back to the second half against the Colts, it felt, I think, to a lot of us who were watching, and I think it did to you, like kind of a breakthrough. You guys were able to get downfield and make all kinds of things happen. How did that change here tonight? Was it something that they did?
Well, I felt like we got down the field, a few times. But when teams have a big lead, they can just sit back in zones, and they're going to, take deep throws away. So you put yourself in a hole and you limit yourself to what you can do. But I thought we still got down the field pretty well, even with that deficit, those guys sitting back.
Joe Rutter.
Yeah, Ben, you guys have had slow starts about the last 5-6 weeks, and it hasn't all been turnovers. Can you pinpoint why that's happened?
Just not playing well enough. I'll take that blame, and I'll take it for tonight too.
Mike Pursuta.
Ben, following up on that, you threw 68 times tonight, 501 yards, 4 touchdowns, and yet 4 interceptions. We've heard you say you're not playing well enough a couple of times this year. Do you think you still can play at this level the way you have?
I'd like to think so. But obviously you can't turn the ball over, and it kills your team, kills your chances.
Jim Colony.
Yeah, Ben, when you said you hated to end the way it ended, what do you mean by end? Season, careers, what?
Yeah, season. What an amazing run we had, a great group of guys, and I know only one team ends the season the way they want to, and it's disappointing that this season didn't end the way that we wanted it to.
Will Graves.
Sorry, Ben. What was the difference between, this was a rocky finish the last 6-7 weeks. What was the difference between what we saw over this last stretch versus what we saw earlier in the season?
We just didn't win. I don't have any magical answers. It just, we didn't put it together. Like I said tonight, the glaring issue is we turned the ball over. We turned the ball over a ton, and that just can't happen.
Didi Kinkabala.
Ben, you have owned this Browns team unlike any other team in the NFL. And as I'm sure you know, Juju made the point this week that this is the same Browns team. These players were running off the field yelling, same old Browns, same old Browns. Is there anything you'd like to say about this version of the Browns you saw tonight?
Tip my cap to them. Congratulations. They got the best of us tonight.
Alan Saunders.
Ben, so you shared kind of an emotional moment with Juju there after the game. So he's got a different kind of decision, obviously, this offseason. If it turns out to be his last game as a Steeler, what can you just say about his time as your teammate and what he's brought to the team with you?
You know, I told him how proud I was of him and how much I enjoyed being his teammate and being his quarterback. I don't know what the future holds. He doesn't know. I'll always support him. I'll always be proud of him. And I think he embodies what it is to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. He's tough. He shows grit. I mean, you saw some of the plays that he made tonight. They were black and gold through and through. And so, you know, I think I hope I can speak to the fans when I would say that they don't want it. We don't want him going anywhere. I mean, he's Steelers and he's fun, and I'm just thankful for his efforts.
Dale Lawley.
Yeah, Ben, I know this is all still fresh to you, and as people mentioned, you will have a decision to make at some point here. How do you feel that'll play out? Will it just be your family that you talk to? Will you talk to guys like Marquise, the Steeler organization, or is this all between you and your family?
Well, it's going to start between me and God. A lot of praying, and then, you know, a lot of talk with my family, discussions, decisions, and you know, I still have a year left on my contract. I hope the Steelers want me back if that's the way we go, and there'll be a lot of discussions, but now's not the time for that.
Jerry Dulac.
Hey, Ben, that's 3 straight playoff losses, but that's 2 in a row where you've come off good seasons and you get eliminated at home in the first game. Is there something more that needs to be examined, or could you just look at isolated games and say, oh, well, we turned it over too much or whatever? Is there something to look beyond that?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we need to have a bad season and try and make the playoffs. I don't know. It is disappointing when you have, you know, a really good season and you get to the postseason and you don't play well. And like I said, I'll take tonight on me. I need to be better to give our team a chance to win it.
Mark Caboli.
And after you were down a little bit, how much did they change, you think, how they played you defensively? It looked like they were giving you some of the middle stuff, but not any of the outside or short stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they had a big lead, so they don't want you to score quick. They don't want to give up the big play. So they were giving us the underneath stuff and some of the middle stuff, and so we were just trying to take it and take our shots when we have them. Guys still did make some plays down the field when we had to, but when you got a lead like that, you can really sit back and just take away the big play.
A few more, Mike Pursuta.
And the quarter changed, end of the third, start of the fourth. You guys had that 4th and 1. Looked like you were starting to generate a little momentum. Was there much conversation about going for it at that point?
I mean, that's coach's decision. I was prepared to go for it, and he said we were punting it, and so that was the end of the discussion.
Joe Rudder.
And there's a lot of free agents on this team. Do you feel this team's going to look a lot different the next time you get together with the guys?
Yeah, just like any season, teams are never the same, whether it's free agents, draft picks, trades, whatever it is. And that's the hardest thing about this business. You lose some really good friends, and things always look different. So, yeah, we anticipate it looking different.
2 more, Brian Batko.
Yeah, Ben, when you were talking about Juju, I think you said you hope you speak for the fans. I mean, do you feel like he has been underappreciated, if that's the right word, especially with some of the off-the-field stuff that's happened this year?
You know, I'm not on social media. I don't listen to a lot of the stuff, so I can't answer that for you. I'm sorry, but I know what we think of him.
Final one, Chris Adamski.
And personally, I know the season just ended, but how do you take stock and evaluate your play? I mean, your MVP candidate, you know, about 6 or 7 weeks ago, and then but the way it ended, how do you kind of look back at the way your performance was?
You know, just it wasn't good enough. You know, when you lose a game like this, you can look back and evaluate all you want on the season and how you did during this game and that game and runs and stretches. I mean, at some point we'll look back on the whole thing, but you know, when it doesn't end the way you want it to, you're always going to feel some kind of way, like you came short or, you know, it's your fault.
All right. Thanks, Ben.